Okay folks, we've got about 3 minutes to go before we're underway. 2 players are in the lobby. At least I saw both of them arriving. Let's have a look. Well, Bedhead's there. And surprisingly, Tony Sam had arrived, but he's disappeared. This might be a short stream. Yep, 2 minutes to go before the room goes up. Let's have a look at the bracket. We had another match this afternoon. Unfortunately, Albinario on the one loss side was playing Ding Junhui, and he quit again. That's something I never like. Anyway, Albinario is through to the next round, or round 3 on the one loss side, and he plays Hazard. So Hazard's going to be up against it in that match. And this is a match we are supposedly going to be watching. We've got another match between Gung Ho and Vinces. Now, I have my doubts that Gung Ho will show up, but anyway, if he does, he's going to be well up against it against that chap. Gung Ho tends to sign for tournaments and then forgets he's in them and disappears. Oh, this bracket's all over the shop. Right, let's have a look again. Right, Tony Sam. Still no sign. Well, the room should be going up any second. And then I would assume that once a player goes in, if the other one hasn't turned up, it'll be 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes before there's a timeout on it. Let's have a check at the rules and see if it says. Match timeout 10 minutes. So he'll have 10 minutes to get in the room, or he will forfeit. Now the room is up. And Bedhead is already in waiting. So the clock is ticking. Well, this is has the potential to be a very good match. Tony Sam is one of the old-time VP players. Played it a lot over the years, mostly snooker, but did play a fair bit of 9-ball as well. The further he goes in the event, the better he'll get, because he doesn't play it a lot now. Bedhead, though, is top drawer. So Tony would be up against it if he turns up. Now, why he turned up, looked in the lobby, and then disappeared, I don't know. Maybe he's just killing time, but there's already 3 minutes gone. I was looking forward to this match. Now, the tournament started a week ago tonight, and the first round of the tournament finishes tomorrow. When the draw was made, each player has 8 days to get their match arranged and played, or the tournament will advance a player and one will automatically be forfeited. And in this case, it's looking like, well, tell a lie, Tony Sam and Bedhead are playing a second round match, but that's neither here nor there. If Tony doesn't turn up, he's still going to end up being forfeited, as long as Bedhead stays in the room. Now here he comes now. Right, we're ready to go. I don't know whether he's been practicing offline. I presume he has. He'll need to. Right, let's go. We might just see the lag. So it's a race to 16. I presume that was Bedhead on the right. No, it's Tony. Tony's got the lag. So here we are. Hopefully we're going to see a good match. Tony might take a wee bit of time to warm up, or he might be red hot, we don't know. And Bedhead certainly is excellent. Well, we've got a scratch straight away. And the saving grace is the 5 ball, which is tied up behind the 9. We have a 4 or 5 second delay from the game live in the room to what you see in the stream. And it's actually better that there's basically, it's better if there's only the 2 players and myself in the room. That way there's less likely of things happening in the room when there's a lot of people in it. So the interesting one is how Bedhead is going to break open the 5. So it's going to be a combo by the looks of it. Let's have a quick look. And it's dead set, so that's simple. That's that problem solved. Needs to play it gentle again just to keep the 3 ball from running away. And it's not the 3 ball that's run away, it's the cue ball. He forgot about that. Well, reverse bank. Let's check the little doodler. Reverse bank that way. Well, here's a chance for Tony to steal the first rack. I need to talk to Tony after this match. That logo that he's got in the top right hand corner, if he gives me that file, I'll get it changed to a PNG and get some transparency into it and see if we can get rid of the little frame round about it. So Tony, he's well capable and he's going to win the first rack in the race to 16. So a quick reminder of the rules again. It's an alternate break tournament, this one, and there is a 30-second shot clock and a 15-second extension in each rack. And the other thing is, there are no jump cues in this tournament. So a chance for Bedhead to respond. He should run out here. No problems. Well, looking to be coming across the table or in between the 8 and the 7. He's got a choice. If he comes across the table, he's leaving a long cut in the 6. He's managed to get across without colliding with the 8. That was always the danger. Good evening, Simon. I forgot your name there. Now, he certainly doesn't want to spin around with this and hit the 9. That's why he's played it gentle. Well, we've seen it all too often. You use the power shots in these pockets. If they clip the jaw, they're not going in at pace. They're going to hang up. So this is going to be another chance to steal. Always got to hang up there. Didn't want to get... That's okay. I thought he was going to keep running. So this for 2-0. I wonder how many's in the room. Let's have a quick look. Well, we've got two and me and somebody else. So Tony's broke off in rack number 3, and we've got a dry break. We've seen an awful lot of dry breaks. And this could be either a safety or a billiard onto the 7. The billiard onto the 7 looks easy. Well, that was a... I don't know why Bedhead didn't play the billiard. No guarantee he was going to be on the 1, but he tried to get it safe and he hasn't got it safe. Chance to cut this in. And I think Tony can see the 2. And Bedhead... I have to say, I don't think Bedhead will know too much about Tony Sam. Let me remind myself where Bedhead's from. I thought he was from the States. No, he's from Sweden. Right, Tony's from England. As I say, I don't think Bedhead... I'm assuming Bedhead hasn't seen Tony very often, because he's not here very often. He's very rarely online nowadays. But... I'll tell you one thing, if he keeps taking wrong choices, a shot like he did there, he's going to find out fairly quickly. Now here's the problem. Now does that 5 pass the 9? No, it doesn't. The one thing though that you would expect is that, well, I would wonder how long Bedhead's going to take to find out that he's not playing a mug, and we'll see if Bedhead warms up. So Tony Sam is going to go 3-0 up. And the break goes back to Bedhead. I mean, the balls are breaking good, but none of them get in pockets. Now, where's the cue ball going? Oh, cue ball's right in the middle of the table. Now, Tony's going to have to come around behind the 7 and up into the middle of the table, and I think he's left it a wee bit short here. Let's have a quick look around. Well, that's extremely thin. And if he tries it extremely thin, he needs to watch he doesn't clip that rail and hit the side of the 8 ball and scratch. So he's declining that option. He's either going to bank it onto the 4, which he's done very nicely, and it needs another good one. Well, there's the first miss by Tony, and here's Bedhead's chance to get off the mark. Looks straightforward enough to come over to the left. For where the cue ball is right now would be ideal for the 3. Oh dear. Well, it's another chance for Tony. This looks a good bank, or a double bank. And it goes. Oh, a little nudge in the 3. I don't think it's done him any favours, but Bedhead will probably find himself stuck against the 6 in a second or two. Unless he's going all out for the bank it up past that 7, but I know what I'd be doing. What's he doing now? Thin cut into the middle. Well, that was a bit ambitious. He had a chance to bury his opponent in there. Now, I don't know whether Tony knows that there's no jump cues. We might find that out later on in the match when Tony goes to use a jump cue, but if he'd known, if he was fully aware of it, he would have buried him behind the 6. Because now he's given Bedhead another chance, and Bedhead's not going to need too many to get started. So for any latecomers, this is a round 2 match. These players both got a bye. It's all still a race to 16 on the winner's side, which this is at the moment. Whoever loses this match will move over to the 1 loss side, and then it's a race to 11. I think he's left himself a wee bit straight here. He's going to have to slam this to get that cue ball moving. And he's played it well. So this time, after 2 chances, Bedhead's off the mark. A couple of balls have gone in there, and I think one of them is a cue ball. So immediately another mistake, and there's a 2-5 combo which is dead set, so he doesn't need to worry about that. He only has to worry about this 6 and 8 ball here, and of course the 7 ball is stuck up in that end rail, so this isn't a, there's no way this is a guaranteed run out. Now the 6 ball, the 6 ball goes, but it only goes from where I'm looking at it. It's very tight. So Tony's played the combo. Or has he? What the hell happened here? I was too busy looking at that. What happened here when I was looking at a ball? Mind you, you guys wouldn't see it either. Well, Tony needed to stun that rather than spin it to try and come square with the 6. So now he needs a bit of luck here to get cover. Well, that's a foul, so it's yet another chance for Bedhead. Tony just scraped the 8 ball there. So it's gotten a bit untidy early on. But once they get into the nitty gritty of the match, then they'll be fully focused. And that's a bit short, but he's got a nice little kiss off the 9. So this time, barring any cataclysmic disasters, it's going to be 3-2. Yeah, the balls are going all over the place, except in a pocket. But Tony's going to have to play the push. And he hasn't called the push. What a numpty. He's forgot to call the push. Now you'll realise he doesn't play a lot of VP anymore. And Bedhead, give the guy respect. He's actually playing from where Tony wanted to push the ball. And that's fair. He didn't need to. He should have taken ball in hand. But he did the honourable thing there and just played from the position he left the cue ball. Ah, Bedhead, yeah. Took the combo. And now Tony's got a problem to deal with. I'm just waiting on Tony looking to try and get his jump. Well, he couldn't jump that because it was too close, but I've got a funny feeling Tony doesn't know there's any jump cues in this tournament. There's going to be a shot at some point where he goes to take the jump cue and then finds out he hasn't got one. Well, the assumption was that was an attempt at a bank. The 2 did go past the 9. The reverse bank looks the option here. And it's going to hit the 3 and it's hung up. Well, this is going to be a gentle little cut. You're just going to try and nudge the 3 past the 4. You just try and drop this in really soft. I'm going to say about Tony not realising about jump cues. I'm making an assumption there that most players haven't even bothered reading the rules. They just know it's a race to 16 and a race to 11 on the loser's side. But some of them are probably going to find out when they play their matches that the jump cue isn't in it. So this looks straightforward enough. He's got the nice little angle. Can drop past the 9. And I wouldn't think it'd be anything elaborate here. Just roll through, leave the 9 into the left middle. So it's going to be 3-all. I think we've yet to see a break and run here because nothing's going in on the break. Maybe this time. Tony breaking off, rank number 7. Now the 8 ball flew in there, the 7 balls went into the middle, 8 ball went into the top right. And Tony's staring down the line of a 1 ball, so this might be the first run out. How's the angle there? Good little angle. Same thing, little draw past the 5. Well, he hasn't got into it. You see, you need to get into that shot. He's only drawn it onto the rail. He didn't get enough draw and punch to just draw it square up. He's left it awkward, and that's why he's ended up missing the 3. Now, those type of shots, you have to go through the shot with a good little bit of bottom on it so that you get that draw to work rather than going to the rail. Or if you do, you need to put a bit of left-hand English on it for it to spin off the rail and get to the position. Tony did neither there, and that's why he's going to probably find himself going behind for the first time. Well, that's gone straightish. Let's have a wee look. Yeah, dead straight. Bedhead's found a way to that shot. Oh, why the hell's your name not Popman then? Why the hell's it? What the hell does that say? MI66OK? Anyway, welcome Popman. Now you come in here to see how 9 ball should be played. So Bedhead now goes into the lead. 4 racks to 3, and he has the break. 7 ball goes in. He's on the 1. The 2 and the 6 are tied up. Let's have a wee look again. Well, the 2 goes as long as you get on it, but there's only a certain position to get on it. That's the problem. And he's got the angle to run through and come up the right hand side. Might need a bit of inside English, which he's played very well. Needs to get away for that jaw though. I think he's probably going to go off the 2 rails if he misses the 6 though. I don't know whether he can miss the 6. Up to the short rail, the side rail there on the right hand side, and back out into the table. He's missed the 6, he's just gone 1 rail. Is he going to scratch? No. Let's look at the 4. I think it, well, that's tight. That is very tight past the 5, but it does go when you look at it from here. But maybe he doesn't want to take that risk. Maybe he wants to get the cue ball around, but the problem's the 8 and the 9 there. That's blocking the path, so he might just leave the long 4. Oh dear. What's happened? I think he's got away with it. He's definitely got away with it. Well, this time Tony's missed a kick. But it's still a problem. This is a judgment of pace getting on the fort. So Bedhead's, well, he looks as if he's intending to play it into the middle, so let's see what he does. He's drawing off that top rail over to the right hand side. Yeah. And the other good thing in Bedhead's favour is the fact the 6 ball's up in the top end of the table, so he doesn't have to travel far with the cue ball to get on that 8. Yes, it's 1080, yep. And if it isn't 1080 on your stream, you need to click the little cog in the bottom corner of the screen and choose 1080. As I said earlier, it's 1080 and it's a 4 or 5 second delay from live in the room to what you're actually watching on the stream, so it's a better idea if you stay out the room and watch it in the stream. You just have to listen to me or mute me. You've got a choice. So Bedhead has now got the gap. Tony Sam had the gap early on, but it's now 2 racks for Bedhead, leading 5-3. Ah, now Richard's been watching it in 360 all the time, thinking it's crap. Right, so dry break. Bedhead at the table. Well, this is a little delicate draw here. Dig right into the cue ball, little soft screw off there over to the right behind the 3. And another little delicate one. I always put a wee bit of bottom and right just to kick off the railing out. He's left it a wee bit short. So Bedhead is now on the shot clock but no extension, so if he gets into any sort of problem and wants to think, he's not going to have much time to think, but it's unlikely that's going to happen in this rack. Oh, is that Hazard? Rich, go and change your bloody name so I know who yous are. And you play, I think Hazard plays Albinario. The Ding Junhui quit again. I think he quit after I went into the room and I typed out 9 balls tip of the day, never quit, and then I just left the room. I went to my dinner, and then I come back and I find out he's quit again. Oh shit. So Bedhead goes into a 6-3 lead, and now the match has turned on its head. Tony Sam's the one with what to do. Bedhead's breaking off. There's something in that top left, and the 6 ball's going to follow it. And he's got a dicey little cut in the 1 ball. He's going to cannon into the 9. He's going to have to ride his luck here getting on this 2 if he pots the 1, because there's no guarantee he will. And he's in no man's land. I think he might just push this to the rail, get it safe. It's going to be an ambitious pot, this. He's looking at the angle, but he's looking more for safety here. That's going to bounce. Tony will be taking his time with this. It's a chance, and if he gets this 2 and doesn't hook himself behind a 5, oh dear, let's have a look. He can't get there, can he? I think he can, yep. Anything but dead straight. He's got the little angle again. Needs to keep going. It's going to get there. That's well done. So Tony Sam off and running in his mini, I would call it a mini rescue mission here, trailing 6-3. It's now 6-4. He's broke off, and like many racks before, nothing doing. Well, that 9's very tight with the 6, so it's very unlikely it's going to be a combo. Just to safety. If Tony can see a tiny edge of the 1, he needs to get distance, so he didn't get enough into that. He just left it wide open. I presume that 7 goes, even though it's hidden behind the 8 ball up there. We'll have a quick look at that as well. Yeah, it goes. I'll play Scotch later on before I go to my bed. How many's in the room now? Well, there's two players and 4 people watching. If Bedhead finishes on the top side of that 4, he'll leave himself the angle to drop down onto the 5. He's done that. Once again, the 6 ball is up near the 7, so that makes it much easier to drop onto the 7. If the 6 ball was down here where the 5 is, that would have made it a much more challenging shot, but as long as he can get the cue ball over to the side he's on at the moment, he should have a clean shot just to drop onto that 8, the 7. And that looks exactly what was required. He can just drop right onto the rail. Now can he push through behind the 8? Or is he going to draw back? He's going for the little draw. That might be straight. Let's see what that looks like. Nope. Again, little angle. Just going to come back and leave the long 9. So in goes the 9, and the lead goes back to 3 racks. 7-4, Bedhead with the break again. Has Bedhead had a ball in the break yet? I know Tony's had one, but I can't remember. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. So it's another dry break. And that cue ball's going to hit the 3. Now, at this stage, what Tony needs is potting the ball and getting on the next ball to make it comfortable so that he's got control. At the moment, he's having to work for it. Now, getting up onto the 4 is half the battle. The problem's the 5 and the 8. So he's leaving this long. He's going to be looking down over the 8 and the 5. And now he's hoping for a split. Or he's looking to just play the safety. Well, that needs to slow up if he's going to get the cover. He's got the cover. Because he certainly didn't play the safety. So he's got the second prize. Oh, we just needed a wee bit more in that. And maybe a little bit softer for the spin to actually work a bit more. But it's still not a disaster because Tony's still got this problem with the 5 ball. Well, this is tough. He's going to play the cut into this left, bottom left corner pocket. He's going to be hitting the 8 ball. Oh, that's unlucky. He hasn't got it this time, has he? Oh, I think he can get there, but the problem's getting... he's going to leave a long 7. Oh, it just squeezed in. Where's the cue ball ending up this time? Well, that 8 ball is aiming directly towards that diamond, that one there. And that's a good bank. But it looks as if he's lining up the cut. Yeah, and he scratched. So the worst possible outcome. The fact that the 8 ball was pointing towards the middle diamond is always a good... well, for me it does. It just gives me a good idea that it's a bankable ball, but he decided against it. And now the crisis is back on. Bedhead's got a gift, and he's now leading before. And this time Tony breaks, and nothing doing. How can you get past that 8? It looks pretty tight to me. Into the extension now. Yeah, he couldn't see it. Boys banked it. He's hooked again though. And that 4 ball, not a problem. It goes past the 8. Bedhead looking for the kick safe. Well, he's not got it safe, but he's left the distance, and that always makes a shot more difficult. And the collision with the 9 has done him. Now Tony can certainly play a little gentle spin and try and come down the rail here. He needs to watch the double kiss though. Try and hide the cue ball. No, he's decided he's not messing about. He's went for the bank. He's got it. He who dares wins. That's the old saying. Well, if you're going to go, you got to make sure you get it. Well, this time, if Tony gets this nice and thin, and I mean we're talking about a layer of paint on this 4 ball, he can squeeze up past the 6 or the 7. He's used the 7. Easy kick though, or is it an easy kick? Because I don't know whether that angle's... It is. I think he can make it with a bit of spin. And just, if he gets it full in the face, he can have Tony in trouble here. Punch the 4 up the table, leave the cue ball behind the 6 and the 7. Well, that's gone all wrong. So here's the chance. And needless to say, this is a must. He simply has to get this. And this 6 ball is awkward. Played it well. Got the pace right. He's got the angle right. He can just finish behind the 7. And he needs to make sure he's not running into the 8, so he should stun over to the left hand side. So it's 1 back. Bedhead breaking off. He's leading by 8 racks to 5. He's halfway home. 5 balls gone in. Something else dropped into the left middle. No, it must be my imagination. I'm seeing more balls dropping than actually went in. Just a 5 ball that went. No shot in the 1. Well, anything in this top half of the table, then Tony Sam's got a choice here about he possibly could play the billiard here. I'm sure the billiard's on. Clip that 1 and push the 6 in. Maybe Bedhead's left that there as a tempter. But the billiard from the 1 to the 6 looks good to me. The only problem with these shots is you don't know where the 1 ball's going. Or the cue ball. Well, I don't think he's playing it. He's looking for cover. And that's poor. Got the weight all wrong. Too much juice on it. And it's worked out for Bedhead. I don't think that's going to get there. This is tough. These are not easy. Now he's got distance. Well, the angle's there. You just push that around the corner again. Get the cue ball into the middle of the table. Over on the right hand side would be ideal. Now he needs to control the pace in this because he's playing the draw and he's under hit it, but he's much rather he done that than get too much into it and draw into the pocket. The angle's good though. Should be on the 9. And that's perfect. So Tony Sam is getting it back to 2. The deficit. And it's Tony breaking. Looking for a ball in the break. Anything. 2 ball goes in. How's his luck in the 1? The luck in the 1 looks pretty good as well. 3 balls in the middle of the table. 6 balls hanging over the right middle, I think. Let's see, it's not in the jaw. No, he's fine. So this could be a crucial rack to win. It's certainly going to be a crucial rack if he loses it, because the balls are all sitting here. I think he's gone straight. That's what he doesn't want. He is pretty straight, so he's leaving it at distance again. Doesn't have to worry about position in the 6 though. 6 is just hanging there waiting to be nudged in. And this is going to be a similar little shot. Probably a little soft draw off the 7. He's gone too far. Too much juice again, Tony. Well, I keep saying this about these shots. They look easy, but you're not looking at the pocket. You've picked your potting angle, easy enough to send them to the jaws. But it's gone in clean. And Tony Sam is on the way back. Trailing by just the 1. Now the mini crisis isn't over yet until he gets back on par. 5 ball goes in from Bedhead. Now, how's that looking? Well, that'll cut in. The 9 ball is actually a good guide. Yeah, he can feather that in. He's probably going to hit the 2 as well. Well, he's playing a lot of bottom to avoid scratching. Well, the 3 ball is semi-hidden there. So does he play the bank or does he play the safe? Got to move the cue ball to get into the table. Now, can he see enough of that to pot it? I think it's certainly going to be 10 times harder that he's cueing over the 8. He's just got to miss that 4. I think he'll push it to the jaw. This could end up just hanging, or he's just going to push it dead. I'm not convinced he can pot that. No. So, it's another one. Another chance for Tony. And that's all the encouragement he'll need to settle him down now that he's almost back into it. How many teams are in the 10-ball Scottish doubles? It's always a struggle usually. Now, well, he's dead straight again, so it's just a little draw or a stun, whatever he wants to do. He could draw it to try and play it in the middle, he could stop it and leave it long. He's playing it in the middle. So this for 8 racks all. Both players needing another 8 to go through to round 3. And Tony is now breaking. 7 ball goes in. 4 ball goes in. The 1 ball's awkward, but it's going to cut down the rail, and what's more, he's got the nice angle to drop over for the 2. Needs to slow down. I think he's hooked. And he's stone cold hooked behind that 5. And he can't get to the rail that side, because where he wants to hit is actually the pocket. So, always hit the jaw. Well, everything was looking rosy there for a second, and then it all goes pear-shaped. That's how easy it is to mess up your run out and give your opponent ball in hand and a chance to go back into the lead. Yeah, I think Larry was in the lobby. Well, this shot is going to have to be a lot of draw. I think that's the only way you can avoid the 9. And it probably will be a lot of draw again, just to go over to the right hand side. I don't know whether he wants to risk trying to run through, because he's going to hit the 9 again. So, deep draw over to the right. And he's sitting perfect. So Tony Sam fought his way back, had the chance to go into the lead, and then snaffled himself on that 5 ball and missed the kick, and Bedhead did the rest. So it's now 9-8. I think we need to check the legs in this table, because all the balls are rolling to the right hand side. But it's a dry break. Easy, well, easy enough 1 ball, I think. Well, Tony needs to nudge it in behind the 9. He's played that good. Again, it's an easy kick though. And same thing, if Bedhead can get it full in the face, he's hoping to leave the cue ball there. Well, he didn't want that, I don't think, but he's fortunate the 3 balls there and he's not hooked himself. So, an easy safety. And that's a similar shot for Tony. Play this with a... Well, he's just played to edge it and hoping he gets lucky. Well, he's still lucky because the 4 ball's tied up. But I reckon Tony will come to the table and find himself with a problem to deal, because if Bedhead isn't going to do anything here drastic to try and get on the 4, then, well, he did do it, and it's now reversed because Tony's got the same issue. If he pots the 3, he has to accept he's not going to pot the 4, and therefore he's looking for a good safety to try and put Bedhead in trouble. Bedhead just got a bit over ambitious there. And I would think the cue ball should be stuck behind the 7 and the 4 ball on the rail. But if he does that, Bedhead's going to have an easy kick. Well, again, Tony's decided there's no time for that. He's just gone for the bank. Now, the last time he did that, he couldn't back it up. He has to do it this time. If you take on the banks, then you have to do the rest and get the job done. Oh dear, he's failed again. And this is like deja vu, because we've had 2 phases in the match where Tony's got himself back into it twice, and then he's blown it. He's blown a gasket. And the only thing I would say here is we're approaching the business end of the rack. If Bedhead gets to double figures, so the gap goes back to 2, and Tony is breaking off in rack number 19. Well, the other thing to mention, as far as the rules go, there is no spot money on, which means that if the 9 ball is potted in the break, it counts. Tony's had a dry break. He's got cover though. Well, the Scottish doubles tournament's been cancelled. Disaster. I think that's going to work out fairly nicely. Well, whatever you do in this situation, you have to take the chance, Tony. Pressure's on. You've got ball in hand. And whatever you do, you can't miss. Can't afford to go 3 racks behind. He's got to get this. And that's gone to no man's land. Oh, this is tough. Even if he cuts it into the middle, where's the cue ball going to end up? Well, he's played that well. Played it with a bit of drag to try and have the pace to get the pot, but to kill the pace in the cue ball when it got to the rail. Well, here's the problem. This is the old heave-ho, top and left-hand English. Fire it around the table. Lots of power. And that's why he's hung the 8. They just don't go if you hit the jaws. They've got to be clean. But he's got the ball safe. And this is just a roll up. Is he getting there? Yes, he is. Well, this would be a brave shot if he tries and kicks this in. Now, who's going to be the brave one and play a shot with draw into the cue ball and punch the cue ball back up to the kitchen end of the table and leave distance? You can't do that now because the 8 ball's off the rail. So here we go. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Now there's a chance for Tony to feather the 8 and just get it right down to the bottom end of the table with the cue ball. He didn't hit it. Now is that off the rail? A chance for the bank here if he's brave enough. But he's not going for it either. Is he going the other way? What's he doing? No, he's going for distance. Now that's a shot that puts Tony in trouble, because he can either go for the bank. It's a reasonable chance for a bank here, and that's going to get there, but he's going to have a tough 9. He's going to have to do the same. The bank or the double bank on either the top left or the bottom left, and he's played it perfect. Oh, that was dicey, but he got it. Back to trail number 1. And very quickly, Bedhead's broken off in rack number 20. And that 6 ball has just ruined Tony's chance of running out, unless he can get the short side of it near the 7. Well, he's drawn all the way back. Oh. And it just squeezes. Oh, there's plenty of room, but it's an awkward angle. And he's going to have to get a bit lucky to get up to the 3. He's used the other ball to do it. Oh dear, not enough spin. Needed a little bit more bottom left English there. Well, that'll do. Tried the kick. Overdid it, but he's left it safe. And now Bedhead's in bother. Can't get to that 4. He can get to spinning off the rail left-hand English past the 5 ball. And this is where your judgment has to be right, and that looks good. Oh, that was unlucky. So it's a chance again for Tony. I think he's got too much juice in that again. And that's again down to the fact he just doesn't play a lot. Just struggling to find that comfortable position where you get the feel for those little draw shots. And that's why he's ending up getting out of shape. But he's okay so far in this one. Can he complete the job in hand? He's playing this with inside, is he? Yes, he is. Again, just leaving it a wee bit short. So this for 10 all. So now it's a race to 6. And it's Tony breaking off in rack 21. 4 balls gone in. Cue ball is going to be on the 1. The 2 is very adjacent in the bottom right. Now this is the vital one. You've got on a part and you have a golden opportunity to take the lead. And that's short as well. This needs a cut with a little bit of right English to avoid that right hand middle pocket. And make sure you get on the 5. And he did neither. But he's left a problem for Bedhead. And Bedhead's pace is good. Probably just kill the cue ball exactly where the 5 is right now, because he'll be on the 6. Well, that was risky playing that, but he's okay. Can just see it. So Tony can't get himself into the lead at the crucial time. It looks like Bedhead is going to keep him at bay here. But this match could still go either way. So it's 11-10. And Bedhead's breaking. And this is maybe what's going to make the difference here. If Bedhead gets a ball in the break, which he has done, he's got the 5. He's on the 1. All the balls are in the open. This might be the decisive rack. If he can get the run out. Because if the breaks just go as they are for the rest of the match, then Bedhead's got it won. If each player broke and run the remaining racks, Bedhead wouldn't be worried, provided he gets this one. And provided he can get the decider on his break. So, not a lot to ask. It's all ifs and buts. A delicate little cut with a lot of draw, a lot of drag, just to kill the pace in the cue ball again. I think he's dead straight though. Is he? Well, no, he's got a slight angle. dead straight, but just stop the cue ball stone dead. That would be the recipe. And just a little roll in. So this looks as if it's going to be back to 2 racks in front, and he'll only be needing 4. And Tony's breaking in rack number 23, trailing by 2 and needing a ball. And he ain't getting it. But I think he's been saved by the 7 ball. Oh, that is fortunate. I don't think he can see the one, can he? Can he see it to pot it? He definitely can't. Well, nobody's running out until that 2 ball goes down. So there's no point in trying to pot the 1 ball unless you can do something with the cue ball. So Bedhead has done the right thing. He's buried Tony behind a 3. Well, that looks good. Oh, unlucky. Well, he's got the next one. I think he's got him corner hooked. Has he? No, he hasn't. Or has he? No. Well, here's a chance for Tony to go thin off the 1, left hand English. Well, he's not even doing that. He'll need to get a good one though. When you leave the cue ball and the object ball so close together, you're making it very easy for Bedhead to tie you up, because there's a lot of traffic down at the bottom end of the table here, so it's easy enough to hide the cue ball. I think he's missed a 1. Oh dear. Well, he must have just feathered that 1 ball and no more. And Tony's scratched. Now, what does Bedhead do? Does he try the 1-9 combo? Yeah, Bedhead thought it was a foul, and that's Bedhead playing himself. And the cue ball must have grazed that ball, and it must have grazed it to such an extent that, well, the game, there has to be something in the algorithm or whatever the hell that reads when a ball has been touched, and it certainly didn't call foul. But in the meantime, Bedhead's on the 2. And that's nicely played. And things have gone cold for Tony here. He's not played bad at all. Just needs to get in and get a chance. He's going to have to do it fairly quickly because we're running out of racks. And Bedhead's very unlikely to start making lots of mistakes. Well, this is a little tester. And he's played it well, used all of the pocket, but he's got the cue ball in prime position. And this to go 3 in front. And the break in rack number 24. Oh, we've got a mess again. This time on the left hand side, dry break. A shot in the 1 for Tony. And should be on the 2 until he hit that 8. He's going to finish in the short side. And I think the 3 actually goes past the 4. There's a gap to get the 3 in. Let's have a look here. Oh dear. Well, he's had a rush of blood. I think he was obviously potting the 3, but thinking more about what he was doing to start moving balls. And well, I think Bedhead's got a good guide with this 7 ball. He might cut this. Maybe again, it was too much to ask. Yeah, Tony was thinking more what he was doing with the other balls rather than what he was doing with the one he was potting there. And he could have opened it all up for Bedhead, but he left him more or less hooked. Well, this is going to have to be a 4-6 combo. And no shot now in the 4. It's a bank. Let's try to stick him behind the 9. Well, this is going to be interesting. Well, 5 goes. You've got to get there though. This needs an awful amount of power. Cue ball spinning all the way around. Off the rails. 1, 2, 3 rails, certainly. Yeah, it was asking a lot. Well, I think he's got away with it. No, I think there's an edge showing, but not enough to pot it. Is there? Oh, excellent. And he can cut the 5. Oh, where's the cue ball? That's a disaster. And it's all come at the wrong time for Tony. Trailing by 3. And giving away ball in hand. And it looks like there shouldn't be a problem. So at the back end of this match, it's just not... it's not kicking in for Tony Sam. He's fallen out of the game. He had his chance there though. Admittedly, it wasn't easy in the 5. But the trouble is, against guys of this standard, you won't get many more chances. So the gap is going to 4. And Bedhead just needing another 2. But Tony's good enough to... If he doesn't come through in this match, he's still good enough to do well on the 1 loss side. But as I said in another match, the problem with that is he's gonna still come up against some good guys over on that 1 loss side. And of course Tony breaks dry, and worse, he's left a 1 ball on and the 2 balls there, and everything else is just waiting to be knocked in. There isn't any problem. The only problem is going to be hooking yourself behind the 8 ball for the 2. Oh, that nearly kicked in off the 3. Now, can Tony see this too? At least enough of it to make the potting angle. Nope. So the match has been on for an hour and 23 minutes. And we've played 24 racks. We're in rack number 25. In this race to 16. In a round 2 match of this year's VP4 US Open. And that's a straight attempt at the 2-3 combo. And the 3, well, I think the 2 squeezes past that 3. It's tight, but he can cheat the pocket a bit. And doesn't risk it. Well, this is exactly the situation where Tony would try his jump cue. And maybe he's, I don't know, I was waiting him typing, can't get my jump cue to work, but maybe he realises that now. How's his luck? He's got the kick. And he's got no joy. Or has he? No, I think it goes. So Bedhead can drop onto the 3. And if he gets on the 3 right, he can just roll through for that 4, which is tucked behind the 9. And he'll also have a shot to get on the 5. 6 ball's a problem ball. It's over on that right rail. And it looks fairly close. Let's have a look at it. No, there's a gap. As long as there's a gap off the rail, then it's much easier to pot the 6. And he'll probably leave it long down the rail, down into this bottom right hand corner as we look. He doesn't have to be over ambitious. Well, he's gone a little bit more pace than that for comfort. This angle's the thing that makes the shot a bit more difficult. It's very easy just to tuck that 4 along the rail and it hits the jaw. He's got it clean, but he's just gone a wee bit more on the 7. Should still get it though. And if he gets the 7, he's drawing over to the right hand side. Cue ball should be going that way. Well, he wanted to come across the left. Oh, he's got second prize again. And Tony can't push it through and get behind the 8. He's going to have to work something out here, or just give it the old heave-ho and try the combo. And the cue ball needs to keep running as close to the bottom rail to make this more difficult for Bedhead. Well, the 8 ball might have done that. Pocket's still there though. But this is a good bank. It's a good bank, or it's a very good cut. I think he's going for the cut. And he's played it well. That was an excellent shot. Clean as a whistle. And, well, looks more likely he's just going to drop that in and pot the 9 into the middle. So this is the point of no return now. Once this 9 ball goes in. It's now 15-10 to Bedhead. And Bedhead breaking off in the rack that he needs to go through to round 3. The 2 goes in, he's on the 1. The 3's there on the bottom left hand side. The 4 is in the open. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, this match is over. Well, might not be. He's thinking about lots of inside English there to try and hold the cue ball for the 3. The angle's the problem. He's played a lot of draw to kick into the 3, and that's probably the best outcome you could expect. Bank to 3 into a much better position, and he's got the angle to get up for the 4. Can probably take it into the middle if he doesn't want to be too aggressive. And I don't think there's been that much between the two players at all. I just think that Tony's made the odd mistake more when he's had his chances, and that's basically what's cost him these racks. And Bedhead has did a better job at tidying up racks to get them on the scoreboard. So the 7, the 8 and the 9. Well, he can just punch and get the cue ball over to the left. Well, he's leaving it long. Oh, well. My goodness me, that 8 ball thought twice about dropping. So, in goes the 9, and Bedhead moves on to round number 3, and Tony Sam moves over to the 1 lost side. We'll have a quick look at the bracket and see if Tony has got an opponent, if I can find him. But this thing won't have updated yet. Let's have a quick look. Well, the matches in round 3, we've got Shibo, who's going to play Mr. Bill. Let's see if that match results come through yet. We've got, well, that's in about a week's time, between Z Karaoke and Senny. We've got the match supposedly in 25 minutes time between Gung Ho and Veen Says. I have my doubts as to whether that will go ahead. I think it'll be, if it does go ahead, I think it'll be a fairly straightforward victory for Vince Says, or Veen Says. Chiku is playing Magician, or that's the match that's set up, but they haven't arranged anything. And there's the result from the Tony Sam Bedhead match, and Bedhead is going to play River City in round number 3, and I have to say that Bedhead is a strong favourite for that. So River City would need to have a very good game to stay with Bedhead. And Mofo the Pat, who beat Dirties or Dr. Ties 16-7, he's waiting in the winner of Wink at Me and Biggs. In that match, Wink at Me will be the favourite, and against Mofo will be up against Wink at Me, because again, he's a player from the States who doesn't play a lot. He used to play a lot in Virtual Pool years ago, but he doesn't now. Now let's see if we can find Tony on this side. Well, Albinario is going to play Hazard, and that is going to be a very, very tough match for Hazard against multiple champion Albinario. Now, Albinario got through after Ding Junhui quit again. We're still looking for Tony Sam. I can't see him. Where the hell is he? Oh, no, that's Tommy Yu. Now, oh, there he is. There he is. Tony Sam plays Jay Schrader in the one-loss side, so that'll be a comfortable win for Tony. We know the sort of standard that Jay plays. He likes to play his pool, but he doesn't put a lot into it. He just enjoys playing his pool, but he won't win that match unless there's a forfeit. Wizard Cheat has beaten Capo in the one-loss side, and he's through to round 3. And we see that Dirties is up the top after he beat. I never knew they played. Andy get beat 11-6. So anyway, I've waffled on enough. Thanks for all those that were watching. We've had double figures all through this match. That was excellent. I don't think I'm going to get like 15,000 watching my stream like PewDiePie does. But thanks for watching, guys. I am going to go off and knock a few balls about and then get to bed, back to work tomorrow 4 AM. And if I'm lucky, I might be able to get a couple of streams in at some point through the rest of the week or over the weekend. So thanks for your company, and we will see you again sometime.